personally, I don't think we've seen it enough. Could we have it one last time?
Mummy.
Magnificent. I'll cut straight to the chase. We were talking during the week, we were saying, hey, tell us about that millennium bug. And so we thought, why don't we get somebody on? Our producer found someone who knows it back to front, and he is ABC internet correspondent, and also in the concert of centuries in leather pants. Did you see?
Was he?
I
was.
Old
Yeah,
55.
yeah.
Jim Stewart, would you please make him welcome? Okay, let's get straight off the bat. How did this happen, and was Bill Gates involved?
It happened because programmers didn't think terribly far ahead back in the early days, and no, Bill Gates was not involved. But everyone...
But he wrote the DOS. He was...
Yeah, it's way before DOS.
Was it?
Oh, yeah, way before that.
Well,
yeah.
why didn't he fix it?
Well, the rumour is he's going to bring out a fix at the last hour and charge us all $1 squillion. But I don't think it'll happen.
You say early days, but this is not like dinosaurs. Early days was only like 40 years ago or something, computers?
Yeah, probably a bit less than that. So what happened with computer programs, they program dates, and instead of using 4 digits for a year, they use 2. So what's going to happen come year 2000 is we're going to have 00 clock over on all these computers, and they're not going to understand it. They're going to think it's 1900.
So what happened? Did they just go, oh, this computer fad's not going to last? We're sick of that by about 10 years' time.
What, 89?
What happens? They go back to, what does it do? If the computer goes back to 1900?
Well, it goes to 1999, right, but it just goes 99, then it goes 00, and the computer goes, well, I don't know what the hell that is.
So it reads it as 1900?
Yeah.
So the
possibly
computer
somewhere.
will think, hey, hey's only in its 5th year.
That's right.
That's cool. Yeah, Brian Harradine will be happy. Oh, yeah. Can it go back further? Can we go to the 1860s? Nah, that was the time to live.
Why can't they, with these computers, some of them, they have wound them forward to the year 2000 and it's gone, we're out of here. That
happens to some of them, yeah. Because what the problem is that the programmers wrote all this computer code, and then they kept building on it, and they added all this computer code. So the only real way to check it all is to look at every line of code, and there aren't enough programmers in the world or enough time to look at it all before the year 2000.
What was interesting, though, was when it first came up and you went, oh, the millennium bug, that sounds a bit of... And everyone went, no, it's serious. And then they go, no one's going to be flying, no. And like year 2000, we all thought we were going to be going, wow!
Party time.
And all of us are going to be going...
Yeah.
Like this,
that's right.
No one's going to be doing
Is that seriously a dangerous thing to be in an aircraft at midnight on New Year's Eve?
Well,
year 2000?
Qantas is saying that their planes are going to be spick and span safe, not a problem. The guy who's heading up the stuff for the US government saying he's going to be in a plane New Year's Eve, year 2000.
You'll be at a Birdman rally. Technically, I'm flying.
But everybody who works in the industry is saying, I'm not stepping outside the door on the first
What
of
are some
January.
interesting examples, though, of things that maybe we haven't thought about?
Oh, things like, I was talking to a guy today who makes global positioning systems.
Right, that's not interesting, another one.
Okay.
No, GPS, why GPS?
Well, GPS, because you've got the little receivers, they use the date and time to find out exactly where you are on the planet, and they use the satellites. Now, the guy said the GPS systems will be fine, the ones you hold in your hand, but he said no one's testing the satellites, and they can't test the satellites because they don't have the equipment to test the satellites.
So the satellite may have the...
Yeah, the satellite might have the problem.
What if everyone just turned like everything off at the wall, waited 5 seconds, turned it back on again?
I reckon that'd be good. Yeah, I'd try.
You've actually got to then hit it.
Hit it a couple of times. But you know how you can tell it's really scary? Because what is this? Oh, it's the millennium bug. Here it comes.
That's frightening.
He's brought the millennium bug with him.
Yeah.
What is that?
Okay, that's on all the billboards at the moment. That's our government's attempt to say this is a scary thing.
That's what they've come up with, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
That's
thought
the
it was
best they've come up with.
Someone's
That's
just going
it,
to
that's
design
it.
a millennium bug catcher.
Gotcha! Sorted!
I thought,
all
it was
over,
I thought it was the Olympic mascot.
But
No, I didn't know that. It was a lie, and it was. I only said that as to give entertainment.
Jim, you and I can have a serious conversation.
How much did our government spend making this? What did that cost?
I would think a lot.
Okay.
Can I raise one with you?
Yes.
Nuclear weaponry.
Nuclear weaponry. Well, I spoke to Senator Alston's office this morning, and their spokesperson said, well, we don't know what's going on with nuclear weaponry because no one's telling us anything. But, theoretically, anything that has a date attached to it in the system could have a problem with the system.
Hey,
But
yeah, theoretically.
Theoretically, good theory. But the thing is that the thing to remember is that everyone will be working on these critical systems before the year 2000.
Oh, okay.
Because they're the ones that are really,
But it's
really
my
worrisome.
microwave they won't care
They
about.
don't care. No one can give a
You're
stuff
on your
about a
own, buddy.
microwave.
Isn't there sort of a feeling that Western Europe, which is where a lot of the nuclear weaponry may be, and also Asia, are a little bit behind the rest of the
lot
game?
behind.
Yeah.
Eastern Europe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, Western's France. Yeah, forget them. They're our buddies.
But the Russians would be on the case. They'd be well ahead of the game, I'm guessing.
Yeah, well, you see, because it costs so much money to fix this stuff, people in Asia are going, forget that. We've got other problems at the moment.
Can I ask, I heard even if you say you get your house in order, say you run a company and you protect your interest, the fact is you're dealing with so many other businesses that if other businesses don't do the right thing, you're still at the
Domino
shitter,
effect.
even if you're... Yeah, so...
That's right,
What,
'cause
so
everyone-
everyone should just do nothing?
No, well, you see what you got. That's one theory.
That's my answer.
Yeah.
Everyone do nothing, pretend it's not happening.
Get one of these, light up a fag, and
You're
we're all done.
away.
No, it's a supply chain, it's a domino effect. And then whatever all these businesses are doing, saying, yeah, we're okay, we're all right, because they don't want to tell anybody, because they don't want to be liable for negligence. It's going to be a legal field day.
But isn't it, in a way, a good thing because it means that we'll come to a breaking point and then we won't be sort of controlled by computers anymore? Do you know what I'm saying?
Do you reckon?
Well, obviously,
And then once again, apes will rule the earth. It's going to be great.
It's going to be like Mad Max.
It sure is.
That's right. We'll
I
all
was
be
trying to be
building
serious. You wrecked
barns.
it.
Go on, Glenn.
No, look, it doesn't.
No, don't.
But obviously, we want to break this control that computers have over us.
Well, I quite
if you
like
know what
that
I mean.
control, actually.
Yeah.
But
Maybe if we did... I can't work out that point because it's almost like, let's accept it's all stuff, let's just go to 2000, pick up the pieces and move on.
Well, what everyone's saying is that find out what is wrong, fix what you can fix, and then prepare yourself what you can't fix. So if your suppliers aren't going to be ready, you have to be prepared for that. Like there's some banks that are stockpiling paper back in 1996, warehousing the stuff, because for all their stationery, because I think the supply chain is going to fall over 3 months into the year 2000. And another
building bunkers, aren't they?
Oh yes, yeah. There are some people building bunkers in the US.
You know what I'm going to do? Is I'm going to get one of those cars that you need to crank up, and on New Year's Eve I'm going to go to bed in pantaloons and a cravat. So if the clock was back to 1900, I'm going to own this town. I am going to be right as rain. Check me out, girls.
But what I can't get over about the Millennium Bug is that we always thought Khrushchev was going to crush us and all this, and in the end, it was more frightening to have a drunken Russian president than the guy that was spitting chips. And we all thought, when people would give apocalyptic scenarios about Australia, they thought, how are the Indonesians going to attack us? In actual fact, all you had to do was take a bog and Warringamba Dam and throw a stick of jelly in the gasworks in Melbourne and you could bring this country to a standstill.
Yeah.
And now the Millennium Bug is 2 digits. Digits, and Bill Gates is saying he's a visionary, and he can't.
Let's get him. Let's get the big nerd.
Let's rumble.
Well, it's going to be big nerd year next year because you've got everyone fixing the Millennium Bug problems and you've got them fixing the GST because they've got to put all the systems, they've got to do all the GST thing, add 10% on everything, on all the systems. Then they've got to change all the FID and BADT tax that the banks are scrapping because of the GST. So it's going to be nerd Nirvana next year.
That's a Millennium Bug.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. It's got me.
Right now.
But I want a scapegoat, and I know that you've said our programs. There
forget
must
me,
be
what's your
one person who went,
I agree,
let's just
Kate.
leave the first 2 numbers off. It's always going to be the 1900s.
I
There
agree,
must
have a
be some
royal
idiot
commission
who
into the
thought that.
Millennium Bug
I think
and
there should
go-
be one person with get out the tomatoes like you were talking about earlier, the stocks, and just it's
Let's
so
find someone. Let's
patiently-
find someone now and blame them.
I reckon he's in the studio audience.
There he is. Get him. Listen, Jim, thanks very much for coming in. I could talk personally the Millennium Bug all night, and I know Glenn could too.
Yeah, I'd love to. You guys want to make your jokes. Jim, we'll talk in the break.
All right.
No, seriously.
Yes.
Glenn, seriously, was there something we didn't get to?
Have we got good people in Australia sort of doing the job for us? Because it'd be great if Australia was like this place where it was, everything was all right and you could say get stuff to the rest of the world.
Gee, I'd love to say yes.
Yeah. Well, just say yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. Look, everyone's going to have problems.
The team at Mr. Muffler have been assigned. They're on the case.
And the guy down my local Tandy is really smart, so I reckon
We're pretty good
hands.
shape.
I think
Personal
we've solved it.
investments.
I think we've found a scapegoat. I think we understand it. We're ahead.
Next up, show business.
Coming up is Angela Bishop, but for now, would you please say, Jim Stewart?